Ashes of the belt. Living in space was beautiful once. Before the shouting, before the flames, before the war came to the belt. My home was on a peanut-shaped rock called B77, spinning lazily between Mars and Jupiter. We called it the garden because we grew food there. Rows of hydroponic beans, green spirals of spinach, and nutrient vines that twisted up silver tubes like something from a dream. The stars were our ceiling. The soil was just a whisper of regolith and recycled waste. But it was home. Then came the silence. Then came the war. The Earth's supply shit stopped coming when World War III lit the sky blue. We heard about it months later, grainy transmissions, faint and trembling, full of static. No more water shipments. No spare oxygen filters. No peace. It started as trade arguments. Then blockades. Then gunfire between domes. I was a farmer. My neighbors mined nickel and ice from the neighboring asteroids. We once traded laughter, music, and stories through the calm lines. Then, someone said we had more than we deserved. Someone said our water rations were unfair. Someone else said the miners were hoarding oxygen. And just like that, trust was the first casualty. They say sound doesn't travel in space, but shock waves do. When the first bomb went off, my dome cracked like glass in a frozen lake. The tremor hit before the flash, rattling the panels and bursting airlocks in the southern quadrant. The hum of life gone. I patched the pressure leak and put on my suit. The air hissed behind me like a dying breath as I stepped into the void. They called themselves the Miners' Front. We were the Growers' Union. Two names for the same desperation. I remember the fight. Jetpacks flaring in the dark. Rifles flashing. Bodies spinning like broken satellites. "Look out, Jill!" I shouted, but she never had the chance. The plasma burned her from the inside out. One flash, then silence. I turned, swung the butt of my rifle, cracked a helmet, and watched a man's face turn to frost. He was no older than 20. I'll never forget how his eyes froze open. Then came the nuke. A light so bright it made the stars look pale. The shock wave hit every dome in the sector. Families were vaporized mid-prayer. Children's toys drifted through vacuum. Gardens gone. Entire asteroids shattered, their fragments spiraling outward toward the Kuiper belt. We lost half of everything. Half the people. Half the homes. Half of our reason to go on. When it was over, those of us who survived stopped counting sides. The miners had nothing left to dig. The farmers had nothing left to grow. Just drifting debris. And the weight of what we'd done. It's been 5 years now. The belt is quieter, emptier, but not dead. We've started rebuilding the domes, sealing the fractures, melting the frozen air back into life. There's no miner or farmer now, just survivors. Children plant seeds in old helmets. Miners use their drills to dig irrigation lines instead of graves. Every night I sit beneath the transparent dome and stare at the stars. I think of Jill. I think of that frozen-eyed boy, and I whisper a promise. No more war among the stars. We've learned that in space, everything is shared. Light, air, silence, and sorrow. If one dome breaks, we all suffocate. Maybe that's the lesson humanity had to learn the hard way. Maybe Earth had to burn, so the belt could learn to live. The stars are quiet again. Let's keep them that way.